Hey guys, Dustin with American, back out here at the World of Concrete 2022. We're here with Aiden from Hilti, best in the business, and we're going to talk about layout tools, total stations. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, absolutely.
Okay, can you walk us through the PLT 300, the new tablet?
100%. So the PLT is always a real hit here at World of Concrete. It's the first construction-ready total station. We actually don't call it a total station, we call it a digital layout tool because it's much more like a construction tool than it is a traditional surveyor's total station. What's really cool about the PLT is just how easy it is to use. The PLT self-levels, just like a rotating laser. It also auto-stations off targets if you have those set up on the job site, and it's the easiest tool to learn how to use. It's a mid-range tool, so it goes up to about 300 feet, and it works with our different range of tablets, our PLC 400, our 7-inch tablet, and our brand new PLC 600, our 10-inch tablet. We're really excited about launching this here at World of Concrete. It's a more powerful tablet, it can handle bigger files, it's got a bigger screen for better visibility, and contractors so far really, really love it.
Absolutely, and that's 300 feet in any direction, right?
So 300 feet radius for the PLT. We also have a long-range tool called the POS 180, which is a full long-range total station that works off exactly the same software with exactly the same tablet. So contractors, particularly in the concrete trade, often like to set up with the longer range tool, and then when they come in to actually start doing their forms, they'll use their shorter range tool inside. It lets them get more bang for their buck because they can use the short range tool that's really easy to use when the job's up and going, and they can still set up with the tool off the job like they normally do with a long range total station, and they use the same software the whole way through. So it's a really nice workflow for contractors who want to use total stations on every single project they're on.
Aiden, so can you walk us through from a contractor perspective on when you're needing to find drains or when you're needing to find like electrical or anything like that on the plan? Can you kind of walk us through what that looks like and what they're going to be able to save from that?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of contractors are worried when they start thinking about, getting into using total stations or getting into using digital layout tools, right? Maybe they don't have a CAD department or a background in managing digital data. And what's really nice and what contractors don't realize is that you can really use digital layout tools like the PLT to replace everything from the most basic tasks you do, like shooting benchmark heights from leveling forms, all the way up to more complex tasks, right? Like laying out radiuses or doing QA/QC on anchor bolt locations and everything like that. So your total stations like these ones really can be used on every single project, and they do a couple of different things for a contractor. One, they take your layout immediately to a one worker task. So you immediately free up the rest of your labor to go and do more valuable tasks. Two, a lot of the times we find, particularly with formwork layout or with layout with concrete, is that layout has to be done a couple of different times, right? So whether it's the fact that maybe it was done incorrectly the first time, or someone comes along with an excavator and knocks over your stakes, or your string line is blowing in the wind. When you use a digital layout tool, you do that layout one time, and then the tool can immediately go back to that location no matter what's happened in between. So layout is a one and done task, and you have a record of everything that's been laid out and everywhere that's been put for that general contractor. So you tend to have a lot more reassurance when it comes to rework, when it comes to potentially issues with things being laid out in the wrong place. As a contractor, you're the one who's not going to be wrong if you use a total station to put it in there.
Absolutely. So you're given a deviation report every time you put a point.
That's why these tools are so cool, right? Because you can run a deviation report to say, this was meant to be in this location, it was actually laid off an eighth away from that location, and you have that information immediately available to the tablet. You can also use it, right, without CAD plans at all. If you just want to do measurements around the job, right? This grid line is meant to be 12 feet off that column, right? Let's check with the total station.
Yeah.
And I have a record of it in my tablet, and I can come back and say, look, this grid is an inch off, so everyone else's layout's going to be wrong. But if that's the grid we're going to use, at least I have a record of that, and I know exactly where I'm putting everything relative to where it's meant to be on the job.
Perfect. So can you talk to us about how easy it is to upload the plans into the tablet?
Sure, absolutely. Actually, getting started with the PLT, you don't even need plans for simple layout, right? If you're doing like simple house foundations, you can just sketch those in immediately on the plan. So if you're working off an existing building line, you can come out 60 feet, sketch in your foundations, and immediately start to lay those out without any CAD preparation at all. If you do have CAD plans, even better. All you do is essentially take them on a USB drive, email them to the tablet. It's a Windows tablet, so you can load your Gmail, or upload them into any of the cloud services that you use, and then import them into the software on the tablet. What's really nice about our software is that you don't need to do any point creation. Our software immediately recognizes, for example, circles. If you're looking at fire stop cans, you can grab lines rather than having to go to points. So you can skip the step of point creation if you want to as well. But When you stake a point out on the ground, that point's available in the software to be referenced later on. So it's really, really light from a data preparation perspective. These tools are super easy to get started with.
And can you also talk to us about the support side behind Hilti and what they do?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the area that we're most passionate about, and honestly, where we've differentiated ourselves from the other total station providers out there. You know, we just launched our Hilti Academy modules for total stations, so we can actually bring operators on our tools up to a level of competence without any in-person training whatsoever, right? Digital training on total stations, which is really, really cool. And it's tried and tested. We actually had to learn how to use it during the pandemic, so we know the content works for our own guys. We also obviously provide on-site training, right? We don't like to do training in offices or in warehouses. We'll come and train your teams on the job for the applications they're going to be using the tool for. So we take a much less of a button push approach when it comes to training, and really it's here's how you use the tool to lay out formwork, or here's how you use the tool to put points top of deck, right? We teach the application rather than trying to teach just the button pushes on the tool.
Absolutely.
And then the software itself is super intuitive, which obviously makes our life a lot easier. And then we do virtuals. We have a team of guys who can come out and support across projects all across North America. We have about 50 guys and gals who can come out and do training on your jobs across the US and Canada. We also have a back office dedicated support line for our total stations too, and they can do anything from supporting users in the field over the phone to logging into the tablets remotely to see what your operator sees so they can come in and help, or they can specialize in back office support too for CAD file preparation if you have to go into 3D models, everything like that. So we really try and cover the full gambit of support requirements our customers have.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you, Aidan.
Cool. Thank you, Justin.